Hey, everybody, we are live from the International Legal Technology Association meetup with HYCU. Andy, how are you?
Evan, I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to chat about what's happening on the ground at ILTACON, the biggest event in legal tech in the country. And I'd love to dive into opportunities and risks and myth around legal technology, data protection, and other topics. Before that, maybe introduce yourself, as always, Andy, and how do you describe haiku these days to folks who may not be familiar?
Yeah, absolutely, Evan. So it's always great to talk to you. Folks, I'm Andy Fernandez. I'm the Senior Director of Product Marketing at HYCU. We're the fastest growing data protection as a service company in the world. The way I would refer to it is HYCU provides universal data protection. But especially today in the context of law firms, we are by far the broadest coverage for legal organizations in the market. And we're very, very proud to be here at ILTACON.
And what made this event the perfect stage for a number of news and breaking announcements for haiku? What's new that you're looking to share?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I'm most excited about is, years ago, we came to the world with our vision of universal data protection, specifically in partnerships with HYCU Our Cloud and our development studio and our ability to universally connect with all of these ISVs that have very, very critical SaaS data that want to give their customers access to enterprise class data protection. iManage is one of those organizations, right? They're a leading firm and a leading ISV and provider within the legal space and accounting and professional services as well. And we've been partnering with them to announce, and which is generally available today, the enterprise backup and recovery integration into our cloud for iManage Cloud. We are the only ones in the market to do so. We are partnered with iManage, and we're very excited, Evan, for a couple of reasons. One is think about just like in every other IT organization, no matter the vertical, legal IT, they have incredibly critical data. They can't let it go. And they have to make sure that at all times they have access to it, that they can back it up, that they can prove that, and that at any moment in time, no matter what the issue is, that they can recover that data. And 10, 15 years ago, everything was in a data center. So if I'm the CIO of a law firm, as long as I'm protecting that data center and I'm backing up the data universally inside of that, then I'm good. But today, there's so many new technologies, but they're all SaaS applications. iManage is an incredible service. There's so many technologies where the average law firm, we found in our new study, is using 9 SaaS applications. So it becomes a bit of a perfect storm where I have some of the most critical data in the world with very, very serious compliance requirements, but I also have 99 different applications apart from my production systems that I have to make sure are available, are protected, and are recoverable. So at ILTACON, we're having incredible conversations with CIOs who already recognize that. We don't have to explain it. And we're there essentially to show them exactly how HYCU can do it.
Well, it sounds like a dream for compliance teams. How does that kind of play out on a day-to-day, legal IT basis? What does it mean for the IT team?
Well, what it means is not only are you able to automatically protect all of these critical applications, including iManage Cloud or DocuSign or Microsoft 365, but you're able to actually store the data and keep it in your control at all points in time. So no matter what happens, you get to decide how long do we want to keep this for? Do we want to be able to recover this quickly? Do we want to make sure that there's not a ransomware attack and we can actually recover this data very, very quickly? You have full flexibility and full control, but without having to babysit the backups. So what this means is you don't have to go hire a backup administrator. Your team can automatically do this and know safely that the data is always in your control and in your storage. And that's probably one of the most special components about our relationship with iManage.
Brilliant. So we're seeing a lot of law firms moving their core systems to the cloud, but data protection seems to be lagging. Why is there that gap? It seems like a no-brainer.
So what we saw was one very rapid shift to SaaS applications. So within 5 years, everybody is primarily positioning their offer no longer as data center hosted, but as a SaaS. What that means, though, is that customers, when they're no longer storing something in a data center, automatically they assume sometimes that, well, there's a cloud service. They have high availability requirements. It's their problem. And if something's deleted, I can file a support ticket and go and recover it. But every single application, like Microsoft 365, follows the shared responsibility model, which is, hey, we are going to take control of the system level. We will have backups for that, and you will have high availability. But that's in case there's something that happens with us, whether it's an outage, a supply chain incident, you name it. But if the customer makes a mistake, if there is a deletion, if there is somebody makes a mistake in the organization, a tenant, you as the customer are responsible for that data. And so what we're seeing now is this massive gap between understanding what your responsibility is and what you're able to do. And now we're here to help customers close that gap.
Brilliant. And you had early access to legal customers before going GA. Not sure if we can mention who, but what did they teach you about what that really looks like in the real world, and how to make these environments more effective and efficient?
Yeah, absolutely. We went through our early access program with several customers. And what we found, one, is that in legal IT, customers are extremely diligent. These CIOs are very, very aware of their responsibility, very aware of the security ramifications. So what we saw was an immediate understanding of what to do. We saw customers do the right thing, which is, I want to prioritize that my backups of the SaaS application, whether it's iManage or other services, that I have a logically separated backup in my own storage that is offsite under my requirements, and then I am regularly testing the recovery. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing them really grasp exactly what we're doing and then become model customers around how to effectively manage their backups as well.
Brilliant. And you also talk a lot about automation and policy-driven backups. How much complexity are we really dealing with here, do you think?
So Evan, it was designed for you to set it and forget it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you determine how long you want to, how frequent you want those backups, where do you want that data to be? And then from there, you can determine exactly what to do with it. And what we're noticing is customers really set their policies based on their corporate needs. And then from there, they say, well, I'd like all my data in Amazon S3. I'd like it on-prem. I'd like it somewhere else. And once that happens, HYCU does the rest. It's fully managed in that component. So you shouldn't have to hire another person for backup and recovery. This should be something that's fully automated and there only when you need to restore. HYCU will take care of the rest. So the goal, the design decisions that we made was to completely eliminate any type of complexity. We don't want to bring the world of virtual backups to SaaS. We want to make sure that they can unlock the value of SaaS without having to hire additional headcount.
Brilliant. And the number of regulations isn't slowing down. How do you make sure customers are kind of future-proof and no matter what gets thrown at them, they'll be ready?
I think the biggest area here is you'll see regulation like DORA for financial services in the EU or NIS2, which does impact legal. And what it's doing is actually catching up to say, look, the rules that we're writing are no longer just for on-prem infrastructure. They're for cloud and SaaS applications and ICTs. So what you're seeing here and our ability as well is to be able to say, look, no matter what application it is, no matter how you're using it, we're the only ones who are here to provide you all of the requirements, which is, are you regularly backing it up? Can you prove it? Are you storing it outside of the organization and the service in your control? And can you prove a recovery and test it regularly? So what you're going to see, Evan, is a lot of copycat regulation where people are going to hone down on all of these SaaS applications, especially even things like GitHub or Jira or Microsoft 365. Everyone's going to have to prove that they're backing it up. So within the next 2 to 3 years, you will see a flurry of adoption of SaaS backup.
So ransomware is a very hot topic, obviously everywhere, but particularly in law firms. We've seen a 30% jump in ransomware demands and security breaches due to third-party vendors, which is a scary number. Yeah. Beyond working with HYCU, how else should they think about resilience right now?
So one, obviously, you have to do everything to protect your organization, right? Humans are always going to be the touch here, where you need to make sure that your organization is well equipped. Evan, people talk about AI and autonomous attacks and all of it, but the biggest negative impact that AI will have, it will perfect social engineering. And that's the most important thing. Social engineering will be very, very difficult to spot and will be much more effective today because anybody can spin up a web page and vibe code and attack essentially. And that is creating a very dangerous environment. So what you need to do is you have to make sure that the organization is more educated than ever and that no matter what, you always, always, always have access and a copy to your data. Because Evan, today, it's not just a ransomware on production systems on-premise, but it's also a supply chain attack on your vendor. And if that happens, and it does happen, we see it all the time. We've seen it with certain data warehouses. where you need to make sure that even if your vendor is breached, that you always can guarantee access to your data, especially in areas of legal, financial, and healthcare services.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. Table stakes almost. So ILTACON's a great environment, very peer-to-peer environment for learning and education. What are you looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to more conversations. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to really understand not only what they're doing around iManage Cloud and how they're protecting it, and that's a very organic, amazing conversation. But what are they doing to protect the rest of their environment as well?
Mm,
How are they also saving time? Because Evan, what you'll notice too, especially in these organizations, is people are building a data protection stack. So it's, hey, I have my backups from my VMs, from my cloud. All of a sudden, there's 7 or 8 vendors that I'm managing. I can't tell you where my data is all at once. So it's really understanding, hey, let's protect everything that's unprotected, but let's find ways to make sure that you are spending less time and money on protecting your entire technology stack versus, hey, let's just add one more vendor to the mix.
yeah, got it. So, okay, so our cloud is now live with iManage. What's next? Any hints around what's next on the roadmap or integrations or platforms that you're eyeing?
Evan, the customer is always the boss. So always it's going to be to continue providing all of the requirements customers need, but also what other applications are you using? How are you protecting them? And making sure that it's not just iManage Cloud or DocuSign, but the entire technology stack. So I think our job now is to listen, to deliver, and to make sure that we're always ahead of their needs.
Brilliant. Well, great advice, great insights as always, Andy, and look forward to hearing more about what's buzzing at the show and what's next in legal tech as well. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Evan. Good to see you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.